Hi, James. I'm hoping that everything is going well with you in your very, very busy time. It occurs to me that perhaps it would be useful at this point to just tie together some ends, show some connections among things that have to do with self mastery, our track of self mastery, things that you probably suspect connect together in this way, just to confirm those things and give you a cool thing that you can do perhaps from this moment forward in your life, to help it all along. What we're after, of course, is you know self mastery with respect to your physical energy, your body, physical body, your emotions, emotional control, self mastery over your emotional states, and of course your power of will, as well as your thoughts, attention control, as well as thought content selection. All right, well, um, self mastery for us, with these four main areas in mind, would amount to, would be um, a harmony, the arrival at harmony over your actions, your physical energy, control over the things that you can control consciously with respect to your physical energy, um, harmony among those, it, and in harmony with your thoughts as well as your emotions. These being, your tools, your instruments of experience and control and expression in the world. Bring those into harmony with one another in accordance with your what you're trying to achieve in life, and specifically, your self mastery goals, such that all your thoughts and all your emotions and your uses of your physical body correspond with one another, and all together as a group correspond with your self mastery goals. All, all of that being uh, not in control, not under the control of your false ego, but your true self, the part of you that does not change. And I remember I said that once to you, and you pointed it out in a reply email. Control from the part of me that does not change, or something to that effect were the words. Well, yes, and that is, of course, the core of self-control. That's where the essence of it lies. Um, the command is central. The control center is, of course, the center of your being, one part that does not change. So if we have your motives being at their very best and deeply ingrained into your very will, your power to act, your power to control your instruments of expression, if we have those self mastery um, goals and motives right deeply engraved right into your very power to act, and your power to act is being controlled from the very core of your being, the one part that does not change, then all the parts that do change and can be controlled by you fall into place. If they're all harmonized, then pretty much everything you do, feel, and think perpetuates your self mastery, and it's under your control. That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. And the one cool thing to be able to do is something that many people find very difficult, is to ever more identify with and become more conscious of, and in fact, kind of like, in a sense, awaken or give birth to, even, is the true self. Um, and there have been many ways through history um, that have been proposed to become ever more aware of the true self, the part of you that does not change. And it's been a difficult thing for many people to arrive at, or to help other people arrive at. And of course, it's not something that just suddenly hits you all at once and then it's done. It's an in-progress thing all the way through life. So, insofar as you did respond with great interest to my phrase, the part of you that does not change, here's something that you could do. You could start right now. I mean, it's a very simple thing. Let's say at the end of every day, as you maybe are going to bed, and you know how we kind of review the day a little bit, the things that happened in the day, and then we kind of like say, all right, the day's over. One thing that you can always remind yourself of is that, well, if it were me doing it, I would be using the words I, regardless of all the changes that took place in my thoughts, my body, my emotions, whatever. I did not change. Now, this is not a denial. I'm not saying this from a false ego or an egotistical or false self point of view, which would get us into all kinds of trouble. It would get us into denial that things did change, emotions did change, thoughts did change, the body did change. This is not in any way a denial of any such things. No, that would be getting further and further from reality to state such a thing in that manner. The statement, I did not change, refers to the true self. That did not change. So the more we remind ourselves of that let's say we just had an argument, or we just went through a stressful period, and we remind ourselves, I, however, did not change. The more we make this a habitual way of thinking and know that we're referring to the part of us that did not change, in fact, did not change and cannot change, it's unchangeable, immutable, and non-destructible, the more we become aware of that part of ourselves. So, and that also, the more we become aware of that, the more we are in a position to truly master our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our emotions, and so forth, our energy. Because that is command central. Truly. While all the rest changes, that's the stuff that can be controlled. The one part that does not change is where the will is seated, which is the power to act and power to control the will. So, once again, we have our motives all worked out and deeply engraved into our very will, our power to act itself, our volition. Okay, and we already know that they're ethical. We already have, gone through the whole thing with them, given them plenty of attention. They don't have to be dealt with again. They can be used. They are always right there whenever we willfully control our thoughts according to the techniques that are upcoming, and some of which you're already employing. The attention control and so forth. Well, the more it all works, the more it all works harmoniously and in your control. From the true command, central core control, from the part of you that does not change. So right now, you can become more and more consciously aware of and bring to bear the true self by simply, at least once a day, recognizing that no matter what the circumstances were around you, or no matter what your responses were, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you did not change. And you are referring not to some denial or digging your heels into the ground saying that I am not disturbed by any storm. No, that's the false ego network. No, We're referring to the actual part of you, the core of your being, that does not change. When saying that, the more we have that in mind, as we say to ourselves, I did not change. I was at peace the whole time. The more we become aware of that part of us that statement is true about. There you have it. This is the kind of thing we're after. And there is another way to get into place your identity with and control from the true self, where it all really has to be centered around. All right. Once again, I hope all is going well with you, and talk with you soon. Be well.